Hello, and welcome to the Mocha Minutes podcast. I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find the Mocha Minutes podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn, Castbox, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Find us on any of those platforms or wherever else you catch your podcast. Also, still soliciting for ratings and reviews. If you would be so inclined, please leave us some 5 stars. Leave us some reviews. Would greatly appreciate it. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Mocha Minutes on all 3 of those platforms. If you want to shoot me an email, give me some feedback. Other than on those 3 places, you can email me at mochaminutes@gmail.com. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. Hello, and welcome back to the Mocha Minutes podcast. This is Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, May. It is May. We have retired that NSYNC. It's going to be May because, well, it's Justin Timberlake. We love NSYNC. JC Chazé. We love your thug appeal. But we had to retire that. So now it's Mandy Moore's Candy. There's a link where she says, "Come to May." Yeah. So that's what we're gonna stick with, because we're not doing this anymore with Justin. His poor sweet soul ass. No, we're not doing it. So May, I always ask the mamas to come here, but I found out, I think maybe this morning, or maybe this weekend. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a tumble on Friday, so now everything is just all together scrambled in my brain. But it's also Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. With everything going on, it's definitely something I definitely want to celebrate. So I have an idea. I got to get with some people. Anyway, I am starting this month off with, so y'all know, I have a Midwest baby mama that is Candace. She is the mother of Princess Blue Ivy, aka London, and now she has baby Taj. And then I have my West Coast baby mama. See, you're never a deadbeat if you take care of your children. I pay on time. No one don't have to call me no raggedy bitch on Twitter. You wanna know why? Because I do what I'm supposed to do. Y'all need to get y'all shit together. I'm gonna keep running this joke. I'm gonna run this joke into the ground. They're like, wait, what the hell? I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. But I have Courtney from the C-Dubb show. Courtney, how are you?
Hey.
Girl.
Popping.
Oh my God.
Popping and percolating.
Yeah, it's a lot going on in the California. I'm like, wait, what is going on? But I can't say too much because the cicadas are coming here. Hello, it's May. Yeah, I'm not. Look, y'all know I don't mind hearing the sound of the cicadas. It's just seeing those big ugly things. I'm not going to be prepared. I might stay in my house for 3 weeks because we're still in a peplum dress. So I feel like no one's going to bother me if y'all don't see me.
It's actually pronounced Papadopoulos. So
Papadopoulos. Oh, okay. See, I'm telling you, this is why y'all shouldn't let Black people get a hold of stuff. They're like, you mean the pandemic? We don't say that. Don't do it. It's like Candyman. Don't do that.
Just follow. It's pronounced partition, first of all.
Right. I'm like, no, we don't do that. We're not doing it
seriously. We're not taking it serious.
It's bad enough. Y'all are literally letting everybody outside of predominantly, better yet, inner city areas, y'all letting the white people know, but not telling the people who live in the inner city that, hey, we're having vaccination clinics. No, y'all gonna leave us alone, okay? You're not even getting everybody, like, people got to be on wait lists. You let people drive out of state to come to inner city areas to get vaccinated. I'm like, but you're not even telling the people who live there. Like,
so
what?
that was my big pushback around folks saying like, oh, they're trying to, telling the Black people to get it first because they're trying to poison us. And it's like,
do y'all really know what's going on?
Because I'm like, first of all, like the white people are coming to the predominantly Black neighborhoods and taking the vaccine resources for the poor, blacker, browner communities. Like they have folks, of course, we're in California. We've got, there's an area in Oakland called the Fruitvale District, which is predominantly Latino Americans, mainly Mexican, but there's, some folks from Guatemala. There's some folks from Panama that live there, but mainly it's Mexican families, working class neighborhoods, also experiencing the gentrification slowly but surely, because that's in East Oakland. But they had set up a vaccination site at, get this, a senior facility and also apartments.
Are you serious?
Some white people from one of our wealthier North Bay neighborhoods. Now, this is a place called Marin. Some of you might be familiar with the name Marin. Tupac lived in Marin City, which is where the Black people were annexed from Marin. But Marin City is very wealthy, very white, might have 2% Black. And also Marin itself is like an hour away from Oakland. Specifically, this part of Oakland, East Oakland, is the furthest east and furthest like south, the way Oakland's kind of shaped like a triangle. So they drove possibly up to an hour away to come to this very, very specific location. Like this isn't even like a clinic, right? It's like senior housing that they set up in their like recreation center for seniors who have, obviously mobility issues and stuff. But yes, like I was saying, so these white people from nowhere even in our county came to a very specific space specifically for those, you imagine those seniors who live obviously in that building, and maybe some seniors in the area, maybe they have friends or family that maybe they don't live there, but it was obviously they were prioritized because they are seniors, they're low-income seniors, and they're in a demographic that is disproportionately impacted by COVID, which is our brown brothers and sisters. And here you come rolling up to like a very private situation to come get a vaccine. Correct. What are you doing?
It's like,
what are you doing?
Able to do this? It's like, why? It's like, y'all don't care about nobody but y'all.
And I don't know if you guys had it initially. I don't know how you guys had it out there. And are you in Prince George's County?
No, I'm in Baltimore County, but
okay.
Yeah, it's been.
There's a difference. So did you guys have it originally where you guys were given codes? People needed codes to sign up?
So what it seemed like. So because I work at a medical institution, it was somewhat easier for me to get it, but it looked like at first it was like it was a code. Like you had to like pre-register and then get on a list. And then after you get on a list, then somebody would call you from what I've seen. And then they also started, like someone created a website where they can actually, in your area, you can look at, because I think it was several pharmacies, Walgreens, Safeway, I think Walmart pharmacy, where people could like put their names on lists to go to different places. But it's like some of them could be far out, but it wasn't seamless. And it's like, how are you bringing these kids back and you didn't even vaccinate the teachers?
Yeah.
Like what?
And see, here, like my parents were able to go to CVS. I was able to sign them up online because they're over 65. So, you know, first they were doing the over 75. And then because they were in the second group of prioritized folks. So that was fine. Okay. So I was able to go online, but you have to catch it, right? Because they, oh my gosh, wait, here it is. Like, where's the remote? It's too loud. Okay. So yes, now I can think. Okay, so originally, I was able to go on CVS.com early in the morning, get right on, was able to get my parents 2 appointments on the same day, but at 2 different locations, which was fine. One had to drive my dad up. That was about a 20-minute drive. My mom, it was 20-minute drive north. My mom was 20-minute drive east. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
But the ones in Oakland, there weren't any ones available in Oakland, which is strange. But
what?
You know, the areas that we went to were in predominantly whiter areas. My mom, we went east to a city called San Ramon, which is again very wealthy, very white. My dad, I'm lying. We went in Oakland, but the location was a very smaller CVS, and it was in North Oakland. And North Oakland is predominantly white, was hit with gentrification first, along with West Oakland. So the area itself, it's very white, very upper class, older white folks who live there, homeowners, not a lot of renters. The renters that are there are paying, you know, like the $3,500 for a studio and all that type of shit.
Oh, so, good Lord.
Yeah, so I was able to get them on. I was one of the people who, unbeknownst to me, we had through our county, through Alameda County, we had one of those general sign up websites. And so we had in Oakland at the Coliseum, that's where they opened up one of the first mass vaccination sites in the country. I got a code and I was able to sign up and get in there. The codes weren't supposed to be distributed like that though. I didn't know that. I had got it from a friend who, she's a brown woman, she's Indian, but she was saying the codes, which were supposed to be given to, folks doing community work, community health workers, to give to like clients, high risk folks, unhoused folks, older Black and brown seniors, low income folks, essential workers, folks working in the public who are Black and brown, people without health insurance, all of that. Those codes were supposed to be for those people. What happened was some of the whites got a hold of them and were distributing them throughout, like, the ritzy private school carpool, text chain. She said one of the codes was being used in a University of Pennsylvania. Where's Wharton School of Business? That's University of Pennsylvania.
I think it's
so Wharton School of Business alumni group, because that's filled with Black and brown high risk seniors, right? Obviously. So all of these folks from, again, like cities like Marin, cities like Hillsborough, which is like it's like one of the wealthiest places to live in the country. all these wealthy, well-to-do folks who have access to smartphones, who know how to work the internet, who can go online and sign up and use the code, they were all using codes to go to the mass vaccination site, which is in the middle of East Oakland, which is one of the poorest parts of Oakland, which is mainly where the rest of the Black and brown people live in Oakland. And a lot of those slots, those appointments did not even go to people who were living in the fucking neighborhood where the fucking mass vaccination site was. That's the type of shit that's been going on out here. So when people were like, oh, they're trying to get all the Black people because they're gonna poison us.
They're
like,
not.
nigga, we can't.
They're not even trying to vaccinate your ass. It's like,
it's like the white people, and it's like the data was like 70% of eligible white people in the county seniors had gotten vaccinated. Only 19% of eligible Black seniors have gotten vaccinated. I'm like, we're not even getting vaccinated. Niggas can't even get an appointment. What are you saying? All these white people, though, they've got access. They've got kids that'll help them. They know where to go. They know how to fucking work the system. They know how to game the system. They find out about like a location, like the senior housing spot, and they send it all through. You know, they're on Yahoo groups and shit, spreading it all around. Right. You know, they're sending out, you know, Gmails and they're all on fucking Slack, sending each other all this info, and they're showing up to places that we're not. You know, Correct. They can drive an hour. I don't know a lot of folks who got time in their day to drive an hour one way. Yeah, one way to get for a fucking 15-minute appointment. I don't know that many people who got it like that. So what the fuck? So yeah, no. So I technically wasn't supposed to use that code because I'm not technically high risk. I mean, I'm high risk because of some health conditions, and I was living with high risk seniors.
Right.
And then I have a young baby, obviously.
Right.
And so, but my friend was like, look, you're Black. This is killing Black people. Correct. I don't want you to die. Correct. Don't feel no type of way about using this shit. She's like, I'd rather have it go to you than some fucking asshole that makes $500,000 a year that went to Wharton, who doesn't give a shit, probably half-ass wears his mask anyway. Exactly. Like, no, you go. You're good.
Right. It's so weird to watch when you see people going, oh, this is what they're trying to do with the vaccine. It's like, you do realize they're not really trying to get Black people vaccinated.
No. Like the local stuff, the little, community pop-ups, I've heard about them. I get people who send me stuff, oh, this weekend, but it'll be like a day, right? Mm-hmm. It won't even be like a week-long event. It'll be like a day for 4 hours at the church. And it's like they're sending it through, it's like those put flyers out. Mm-hmm. Who got the flyer? And they'll put the flyers out like a day before. Nobody's going to this shit. Who knows about this? This isn't being promoted in any type of way. This isn't like, what the fuck is going on, man?
They don't care.
No one's showing up to this.
At all. It's like, what? I'm sorry, I hate to break it to y'all, but yeah, they're not going out of their way to vaccinate Black people.
No.
That's
not at all
what's going on here. And I know it's like, and yeah, you know what? Nope, we're not getting. Nope, y'all. No, because that's a whole different conversation. And anyway, y'all listen to nope. Stephanie, stop. Stephanie, stop. Okay, so let's give some people some roses. Let's do some happy stuff. So y'all know I love giving people roses while they are here, because sometimes we don't give out roses until people are gone, because that's just how things work, apparently, and I'm not exactly sure. So this one is going to be very interesting, because this may seem very controversial to do, and we're going to talk more about her towards in the show, but it's going to be Janet Mock. Now, I'm giving Janet her roses because, and let me just be very clear. I'm not giving her roses about because of what's going on with her and Angel. I'm not sure if she had too much to drink or baby, she just had, like, she was just up with the bullshit she will not put. But the fact that your show that you are involved in, which is getting a lot of critical praise, we are all to a certain extent very upset and a little sad that this is going to be the third season of Pose that debuted on last Sunday. This is the final season, which I honestly was like, I really didn't think that's what was going to be happening. The fact that she did all of this while you're basically on your high, not when you're at your lowest or bad. You're not getting bad ratings for Pose. It came literally out of nowhere, but the fact that she was bold enough to say it, that is why I'm giving her roses. You can, like, folks can debate what she said, but Homegirl is not wrong about her only getting 40,000 per episode. It's like, she's not wrong. Ooh. She's not wrong about that. She's the thing, embarrassing Angel because you fuck some dude on production. You say, I'm not quitting you. And I'm like, okay, this is super weird. Yeah, I'm not doing it. However, I'm going to focus on the fact that, one, sometimes it's like when a woman is fed up, and I fuck R. Kelly. But she got here for this reason, and I'm really not sure why. I just want to send her the best, and I want to give her some flowers because mostly people are going to like, they're definitely going to be, they've definitely been dumping on her ass. And I'm glad to see a lot of trans women just kind of going, I'm going to give her grace. What she's talking about with Angel, that's that's pretty fucked up to do it in front of a group. And people have been asking for a video. I'm kind of glad there's no video because, my God, it'd have been worse. And I'm glad that Angelica Ross was like, my sis said that, and that's it. So I like that we are rallying around it. I find it interesting that there are cis people going, how y'all just going to rally around her when she did this? And I'm sitting here like, so I'm going to look at y'all R. Kelly E. I'm going to look at you Fabulous E. I'm going to look at you Tariq Nasheed E. I'm going to keep looking at y'all. I'm like, please don't do that. Is that what she said about Angel? Fucked up. Her, not the wage gap she's talking about, probably not exactly
very real.
So there's that. Who would you like to give your roses to?
Okay. So I think, it's Mother's Day. I think I'm going to give my roses to Caleb. I'm going to give my roses to my eldest baby because he and I have been really transparent about this. He went back to school at the end of March, first time in person learning. So he's gone. He went September to the end of March doing kindergarten virtually, and it was a struggle for him. Really, he's an outdoorsman in his heart, and he was struggling a lot emotionally. He was depressed, put it plainly. He was going through depression. Just being stuck in the house, not being able to have like that engagement, and then of course, they started allowing for in-person learning to a point, but because my parents were still here with us, we were really concerned about what happens if he contracts COVID at school and comes home. It could kill my parents. So he had to stay home. He had to take one for the team because, we were worried about my parents, being high risk. So it was hard. And, the learning experience is not the same online unless you're set up to do that. And, 5-year-olds, 5-6-year-olds are not set up to do that shit. They're just not.
Absolutely not.
And so, there was a lot of learning loss and struggling with really comprehending all the material. And it was wearing on him. It really was. I probably didn't make him go as much as I should have. Because some days I'm just like, he just needs a break. He needs a break. This needs to be balanced for him. And so, yeah, he's been back now a month. Okay. And it's like I have my baby back, my little guy. He's like, his personality is back to normal for the most part. He, had been kind of going through like some insomnia. And now he's like at 9:30, he came in like, my eyes are tired. I want to go to sleep. Like, all right, well, let's hop in the bed. Get in the bed. All right. So he's excited to go to school. He's making friends that, he's reserved. So it took him a little while to kind of get used to everybody and how school works during a pandemic. Cause they still do the 6 feet apart, which I don't know how that works with 6-year-olds. So they do it. And then, having to have distance playtime and all of that stuff. So he's just been really blooming and he's back to himself. And I've missed him. I've missed this version of him. So I'm happy to have him back. So he's getting the flowers from me.
Aww. I'm going to sit over here in my feelings for that. Let me sit over here. It's so sweet. And
Rosie, would you like flowers too? Yeah. Okay.
That is so beautiful because, man, that's the thing that folks aren't talking about is like certain age children and how that is working. Because it's like, how do you?
It wasn't.
It's like I feel like you can't do virtual kindergarten. You could probably do virtual 10th grade, but virtual kindergarten is weird.
And then it really depends on the kid, right? Like some kids, like I think the curriculum, like his school, their curriculum is very engaging and it just doesn't come over well in Zoom. Like he's just, it's that they're not at that age where it's like they could receive, a lot of this at this point in time, learning is a lot of being there in the moment, playing, and learning through play. And if you can't be there to play, a lot of that learning isn't sticking, and it's not as engaging because you're an adult and you were probably zoomed the fuck out too. So imagine having the energy you had at 5 trying to contain that shit and then being on Zoom,
being ADHD because they're just gonna get up. It's like, where does he keep going? He's bored because he has ADHD. He's bored.
Yeah,
what's going on? Like, what would you do if they were in class? But it's virtual, and that's virtual kindergarten seems super just. It feels like a dumb idea.
Please get off the treadmill. you. Cruz be like, who you on to? You, like, sir. You.
Wait. He's like, don't be trying to front for your little friends. You know what I be doing in this house. Don't front for your friends.
Yeah,
like,
no, he be over here. He be over here. My mom let him get on the treadmill. Well, my dad uses it a lot. And he likes to imitate him.
Oh so
that's God. It's so cute. But then it's like,
get off the treadmill, please.
Yeah, get off. He be trying to turn it on.
Oh my
Get off of there. Come on.
Lord.
Get on the mat.
I definitely have to play Am I the Asshole with this because this one is hilariously funny for no apparent reason. But let's play Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for arranging potluck for my sister's apology dinner? So my mom decided to host an apology dinner for my older sister. As my mom was busy writing her apology and whatnot, she asked if I would take care of the food and beverages. I said sure, thinking it was just for my family of 4. But when my aunt and cousins heard, they also wanted to attend, so I decided to make it a potluck. Potluck is where all the adult guests bring a dish and all the dishes are shared. Of course, I never asked my sister to bring any food because she was the guest of honor. Well, everyone came over and we are all excited to listen to the apology and eat.
My sister was among the last to arrive, and she was offended that we were serving potluck for her special dinner. I explained that I had carefully planned what would be served. Sister's boyfriend is a vegetarian, so we had 2 meatless options. But my sister yelled at me that the apology meal should be prepared or at least paid for by the apologizer, my mom, in order to show proper atonement. We went forward with the apology dinner, but my sister called me the asshole for undermining the apology. Am I the asshole for arranging potluck for my sister's apology dinner? So I love that this person explained what potluck was, because literally everybody knows what that is, but didn't explain apology dinner. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Why was your mother apologizing, and why are we having an apology dinner?
So if you go through the comments on Twitter, it's like, hi, we all know what a potluck is, or, Google. Please explain what an apology dinner is. Correct. And why is the apology happening? What happened? So if you go to the comments on Twitter, so apparently the mother tries to get the sister and the boyfriend, the vegetarian boyfriend, to break up. And that's why she's apologizing.
Wait, for no good reason. Like, his ethnicity. Wait, what? Oh, I was like, what? It's like,
but also, so I thought it was weird, right? Because it was like in the story, it's like once my cousins and aunt found out, like once your cousins and aunt found out, what?
Stop. It's like, what? Wait, what? It's like, because it was hilarious. The wives were like, "Oh, but I'm going to explain what a potluck is." It's like, bitch, we know.
Bitch, we know that. We know that, bitch. We know that. We know what a potluck is.
What was she apologizing? She tried to get her and the
boyfriend to break up, but it's like, well, why? His ethnicity. Well, what are y'all and what is he? Even though we know what he is and we know what they are, we don't. We can sense.
So, like his ethnicity, I'm like, because I feel like she said race, you get a different response.
His ethnicity makes me think he's a brown person versus a black person.
Exactly, and then apparently and he's a vegetarian, and I'm thinking of a lot of ethnicities.
I'm thinking he might be Indian. I'm thinking he might be Middle Eastern. Mm-hmm. It's definitely giving me that vibe.
He could also be Chinese. So I'm sitting here like there's a lot of ethnicities that are vegetarians. So this is gonna be. I was like,
But I'm concerned like as the sister. So it's like I don't know why it turned into a potluck. I don't even understand that part. Like why?
It's like you can't. Auntie. So it's like, is your level of cooking? You can't go past 4 people, because that's super weird to me. It's like, oh my God, it was 4, but then it turned into 7, and then it was like, okay, we got a potluck.
But I don't know why they needed to come. I don't know, given the context of what the apology dinner was for, and
why did they? Oh, we got to be there. Wait,
yeah, like
would you
gotta see
be there?
Like, no, I should really. I don't even think that the sister really should have even been there, to be honest. Like the one who was planning, like, I don't understand, like, why it wasn't the mom planning this herself, just to have them over for dinner to apologize. But it's like, you have to apologize publicly. Like, or no, not really.
So, that's not. You make it seem like an apology dinner is a thing that everybody should know, but everybody knows what a fucking potluck is. Like, everybody knows what a potluck is. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So, yeah, you're not the asshole, but you're the asshole for not explaining what the fucking apology dinner is and, like, saying for no good reason, his ethnicity. I'm like, so we don't care about your bigoted mama. We are trying to figure out what's wrong with a potluck. You can't cook for over 4 people, so I feel like potluck is fine. Now, I'm so intrigued, but also I'm not that engaged. You're not the asshole.
They should have. I feel like but I felt the sister were like, if you guys are going to intrude on this moment, then yeah, you need to bring food.
Correct. It's only between me and the mama. Why are y'all here? Like, this is sport. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Right. That's why I'm like, well, no, I get it. Like, yeah, make them bring their own food since they trying to be nosy.
Since this is what y'all need to do, since y'all want to see this little, y'all go to hell. Okay. Let's go low key. And this is low key just because I want to start off with something nice. Summer's supposed to be fun. So Natasha Rothwell has inked a big overall deal with ABC Signature. So for everybody who doesn't know, Natasha Rothwell is Kelly from Insecure. So she also is a writer on the show. I think she's writer and producer, but I think she's just in the writing room, but she also is on the show. And Homegirl has now an overall deal. Let's see. Shonda, Kenya Barris, Carlos King, Natasha Rothwell. I'm very, 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 very excited for this. And it said this is coming from Deadline. Under the Rich Pact, which is in conjunction with Disney General Entertainment's Bio POC Creative Initiative led by Tara Duncan, Rothwell will develop new projects for television via her Big Hattie Productions. Financial details are not being revealed, but I hear the 3-year pact is in the 8-figure range. Get the bag. I'm all about it. I'm all about saying Black women get money. I'm tired of y'all trying to humble Black women. Oh, get your money. Do not smile at these niggas when you have a mask on, even if you don't. Do you know that some dude was trying to talk me down and tell me, like, how is it Black women so problematic? We just asking you to smile. I'm sorry, but who the fuck are you talking to? Second of all, I'm like, it's weird that y'all don't think it's problematic that you were actually telling a stranger to smile so that it makes you feel better. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, what is going on here? And it's like, what's bad is that we have to literally give you a long form answer because it's creepy or it makes me uncomfortable. Just doesn't work. Y'all literally need us to do defend our thesis on why. Stop telling strange women that you don't know. Smile. Fuck you. And then y'all get mad when it's like, yeah, you're a complete stranger. See, I didn't want to go down the I didn't want to dig back too deeply because I feel like y'all be like, oh, that's too deep. But you do realize Black people walking down the street during segregation, white people could just walk up to them and say, smile and or don't look at me. And you're actually doing this to Black women. That's why I'm like, I don't want to get too deep with you, but you do realize y'all are using tools of white supremacy against your own people. No, I don't have to smile because it'll make you feel better.
Just don't say anything about being hungry.
It's like, geez Louise. Funny.
So Natasha is popping.
Yeah. She got the bag. I'm like, yes, give her money because she is funny. Hopefully we see more on this upcoming season of Insecure is the last season. So hopefully we see more of Kelly, and I'm really going to be amazed to see how this show wraps up.
Yeah, so, with the Lawrence baby.
I'm not going to be prepared because I'm going to be mad as hell. Let's go into mid-key, and I am saying this because I don't have complicated thoughts about this, but I'm tired of seeing this. I need us to defund the kitchen beautician industrial complex, but this is not. These are not. So these are people who do hair outside their home or in their home, I should say, but also some of these things happen at salons, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? So a woman who does braiding, she does the braids, right? She put this, somebody found this from her story, but she made it a highlight. See, that's the thing. Stories disappear after 24 hours. Homegirl made this a highlight because, she a business. Okay. So this is what she said. Y'all need to read my policy before y'all book because as of this week, I'm kicking people out my salon if you don't follow directions with your deposit. With your deposit is in all caps and this exclamation point. I'm also recommending my friend who does blowouts located in Silver Spring, $35 wash, blow, straighten. Her price will be $55 starting in May. If you come to your appointment and your hair is not blowed, dried, straight is all caps, 2 exclamation points, you're canceled. YOUR. Not YOU apostrophe RE. If the blow dryer doesn't have your hair straight, flatten, iron it. If you come to your appointment and your hair is bluntly cut at the bottom or you had a fresh trim, your appointment is canceled. If you sneak in my chair with colored hair without telling me... If you sneak in my chair with colored hair without telling me before your appointment, your YOUR canceled on the spot. Again, it is YOU''RE. If you come with damaged hair or without edges, damaged edges, again, YOUR canceled. Not YOU''RE. You know what? And I'm sitting here like, that's... So
let me tap in real quick.
Go right ahead.
So
girl, I'm ready because you know I'm about to drag her ass. You go right ahead.
So I haven't been to the salon in years. I grew my perm out some time ago. I probably the last time I went to an actual salon prior to last month. It might have been maybe 2010.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So leading up to that though, I was getting my hair done in the shop since I was 6 years old. Every 2 weeks, got my hair done. You know, first had a perm, grew that out, did the press and curl for a long time. I don't know how they do things where she's at, but it's illegal for a salon stylist who has a license to suggest or refer or demand that you wash and blow dry your hair and do all this shit prior to the salon. There's a reason why they want you to come to one, they can know what products are in your hair because they might have product, you using product A at home. They got product B at the salon and them products might fuck your whole shit up.
But don't let her.
And they're supposed to come, so you're supposed to come. They wash your scalp. It's not just. And also, if you're going to a stylist for the first time, what they do is a consultation. They look at your scalp. They look at your hair. They look at your hair prior to washing it to see if there's anything, anything that you need to be concerned about on your scalp, anything that you need to be concerned about within your hair. They look at it in its unwashed state prior to washing it and styling it. So that's another thing. Part. They're taught about the science of the scalp and the hair, and you're supposed to look at and review a person's scalp and hair before touching them at all. That's a part of the process. It's a part of the entire styling experience. This whole wash your shit before you get to my salon.
Blow dry your hair. I was like,
bitch, if I'm halfway done, I ain't going to your
why am I coming to you?
$55 for you to bump my hair, bitch. Fuck you.
So I also was like, that's interesting. You got to blow up because she's not the first person I've heard. People like, you got to come with your hair washed, and I'm like,
no, this is a new
professional. It's telling you like you can't verify that their scalp is clean. So what do you?
Exactly.
It's like, how did this happen?
Exactly.
I keep forgetting to ask my cousin because she's been my beautician ever since I was 16. No,
they're not supposed to do that. That's right. And I don't know. Like, I'm a millennial, so I don't know who these new generation.
I'm an older millennial, just like you, and I'm sitting here like, I keep
like that's not what anybody has ever said. Nobody. Ever. Like when I went, so again, I went to the salon. I'm big money now. I'm trying to be somebody out here in these streets. So I'm like, man, when this pandemic come out, I'm getting everything done from head to toe.
I can't wait for my pedicure, girl. I'm like,
oh my god, I went and got. I'm like, I got my neck, the nails done, feet done. I'm trying to get in with my eyebrow girl. Luckily she survived the pandemic. I can't wait to get up in there to have her test these brows. But I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be at every appointment ever.
Every single one.
I'm gynecologist. I'm getting a colonoscopy. I want everything looked at, done. I need to be outside. But I went there for the first time. Nice stylist. Her name was Zoe. Zoe looked at Zoe sat down before she even touched me, sat down with a clipboard and asked me a whole line of questions about my hair health, hair history, scalp. Do I have any issues with seasonal dryness on my scalp? What products do I use at home? What kind of, goal? Do I have any goals for my hair? Do I want to grow it out? I'm trying to look for a new style. Right. Do I want some color? Whoop-de-whoop. Do I have any areas of concern that I've seen that she should be aware of? Whoop-de-whoop. Because she's a motherfucking...
Because he's a professional.
Professional. And that's what you're doing as a professional. Like, shit, if you want to just, I guess, get your ends bumped or whatever, get a flat iron, I guess you go to your friend and you come with your hair wash. And do you know who used to do that shit? My roommate, Angel. I used to beg Angel. She went to beauty school. Angel, can you do my hair? All right, you got to wash and blow dry it and I'll style it for you. That's what your motherfucking friends do for free, bitch. I'm not paying your ass to half-ass do my hair. Entire styling experience, bitch.
I have a friend, she does hair right now. And I remember this came up early, last year during the pandemic. And she was like, what the heck are they talking about? How are you not? I was like, does that make sense? And she's like, no, it doesn't. She's like, that doesn't make any kind of sense. If you're licensed, you should be, why are they not washing hair? I'm like,
but they teach you that in fucking school.
So why are you like,
wash heads in school? So you think you're going to graduate school and never wash your head? Girl, shut up.
So can I just tell you, I had to look at her prices. Why is you're telling me they got to be blown, dry, straight hair. They have to be clean, but you're charging $250 for jumbo knotless braids. Hair is included. And also if you have colored hair, it's an extra $20. She got something on her called Nipsey Hustles. I'm like, the fuck does that mean?
So get some cornrows. They're just cornrows. I bet they just cornrows. They just cornrows.
1 hour, 40 minutes at $120.
Bitch.
But I gotta do half.
I've done half the work.
Girl, so wait a minute. I'm gonna see if you can hear this. Because apparently she's like, this is a joke. This is, she said the birds are chirping. So let me see. Let me see if I can share my screen so you can hear this.
Turkey, bird, short, no hair, ass daughter took my post to Twitter. But now that it's very clear and thousands of you heard what the fuck I said, if you come to my shit and your hair is not blow dried, you're getting sent out the door. My book is up 10. A bitch got me fucked up. Y'all done got me too many times. But this time, no. YouTube. Tune in to my YouTube because clearly I can't even clap back at y'all because they blocked my live once again. Every time I say a comment, y'all report it. Because my clapback is better. My clapback is too quick for y'all. So, like I said, I'm not saying anything. Y'all heard what I said. Keep me relevant. That's what y'all do. Y'all take me to a whole nother platform and still keep me relevant. Like, bitch, I need to get on this TikTok right ASAP. Like, the way y'all niggas talk about me, it's crazy. Like, I really don't care. Like, I'm really in real life. The money I made, I flipped it. You bitches a little too late to be trying to stop some business. Bitch, this business done took off. Bye. And I didn't need 100K followers to do it. On my back. What is they take for a president of the bad bitches? Patel for president of the good hair bitches. It's like, nah, but I can do any type of hair, y'all. That ain't the issue. The issue is I service a lot of people in one day. I'm not a braider that's going to take 2 people and go home with her little ass skimpy bit of money. No, I can do more hair than that today. So when I ask you to come blow dry and to straighten it, it's for time efficient.
Oh, wait, pause it real quick. Is she specifically a braider?
Now, you heard her say it, right?
Yeah.
She's a braider.
So with braiders, it is different. There aren't legal requirements for braiders to do anything to wash the hair. They don't have those limitations. At least not here in the state of California.
Right. She might not have
specifically Is she specifically a braider then?
So I don't know, because she also does installs. So she does braids, she does locks, she does installs, she does weaves.
Anything like the braid, just sewing on top of the braids. She is right then. I take back what I said. If she's doing simply braiding, then that is different. There is not a legal requirement. Even if she was working in a salon, she would not have a legal requirement to wash her head.
Yeah.
I take back what I said. However, I have seen these new kitchen beauticians.
No, I've seen them too. Because she's not just doing braids. She also is doing installs of weaves.
So the install is still the same as braiding.
It's still considered braiding?
It's still considered, it's not considered, it's on the same level as if you're styling hair, because the main part is you're braiding and then installing, the bundle on the braid. Mm-hmm. So mainly the main part, which essentially takes the longest, is braiding down the hair. Mm-hmm. So that's why I understand what you're saying now, where it's like, I'm not washing your head. You have to be ready to come and get in my chair so I can put this hair on you. Mm-hmm. I understand that point, but it also isn't necessarily clear from that initial messaging. If you're doing consultations, or if you want to see what people's heads look like prior to, then you need to do a consultation.
Right. Okay. And I think that's fair.
No, with braiding it is different, but there are, but
yes, but
people are asking you to come with a clean head to get a press and curl. That's the thing, though. That is a thing.
Mm-hmm. So that I understand. I love that we're talking about this right now. So that part I get. It's like, it seems weird, but I think the wording for me got weird, because there's people who are like just doing hair, period. Like, oh no, you got to wash and style your hair, or wash and blow dry it straight. So these are her business hours. She works 1 to 9 on Monday to Friday. She does not work on the weekend. It's a $50 deposit. The deposit thing, I am never going to be like, no, I understand it, because I understand deposits. Please have your remaining balance in cash, or you'll be asked to withdraw funds and pay before your appointment. Any deposit sent without speaking to me is a loss and non-refundable. Remainder balance must be paid in cash. Wow. Okay. If you have damaged hair, short hair, brittleness around edges or center, colored hair, freshly cut hair, bluntly cut hair, you must consult with me before your appointment. All clients must come with hair properly washed and blow dried. If not, appointment is canceled on spot. No exceptions. Absolutely no product. Light oil is an exception. No extra guests, no kids at all. Let's see. Hair is included, which I think is a good thing. It's like, because maybe that means she's using good quality hair. You have a 5-minute window for being late. Anything after will result in a $20 late fee. Anything after 10 minutes, canceled. If you're going to cancel or reschedule, please give 24-hour notice. You will have to make a new deposit if only cancel/reschedule. Have your whole day free. Do not schedule other plans on appointment day. There can be some waiting time. All times are estimates. Every client is different, and we have to move based off what we are working with. So let's have respect for each other's appointments. So they can't be 10 minutes late, but you can have them sitting there. But yeah, I think, yeah. So yeah, I don't know I'm scared to even ask what chinny bumps are. I don't know what
spell it. What is it?
Chin with a Y bumps. I don't know what chinny. Oh, look, she also does pop smoke braids because it just says pop smoke. Lisa Bonnet braids. She meant Lisa Bonet. Bonet has one N. But she spelled Nipsey Hussle correctly because she put a $ as his name. Yeah, chinny. Okay. 28-inch lemonade braids / sideways. Girl, let me get off this page because maybe I just don't get my hair braided. So that's probably why it like stuck out to me. If it is hair braiding, I think it is a little bit different. Yeah. So she also posted the requirements. She's in Maryland. So she made the requirements. Sorry, y'all. This is just throwing me for a loop. Maryland exempts hair braiding professionals from cosmetology licensing requirements. You can work as a hair braider without any formal training or education, which allows those with braiding skills to work as soon as they can meet the expectations of customers. So that is how she is getting around things. So she literally can have you waiting here for 3 hours while she's doing other clients. But if you're 10 minutes late, your appointment is canceled. And that's fine. But that's not talking about that. It's really just like basically in our minds, and it's probably because just the way we think about hair and beauty salons. It's an all-day affair. That's the running joke with Black women going to the hair salon. But you're getting a whole service. Somebody is washing your head. Someone is styling your head. Someone is doing a lot to your hair. So it's kind of like it's the trade-off by being in the beauty salon for God knows what. So I see her. She made it a point to. She did this actually 8 hours ago. So this is because I think this has been going on for like a day or so. So she posted what it says for the state of Maryland, and it's like, girl, I hear you. It's just. The first thing she put up was, do you need license to braid hair? That's not what we're saying. So now she's looking at it like, because it seems she doesn't need a license, but you don't need one. But it's weird for you to charge someone $250 and they literally have to do the whole...
at the braiding shops, that's the thing though. See, she's one single braider at her house. I heard of people paying how much to get hair braided at the shop, like a braiding shop, but
so apparently she's saying she has
at that point you got like a very she ain't got no damn salon. She just don't need no license.
Well, she said there is one person that assists pedal when braiding.
Why? Because of COVID or period?
It must be period, I guess. Because she got like, there is one person that says pedal when braiding. When booking with @Braids You Like It, you're agreeing to all these terms. The waiting times, all times are estimates. So you can't be 10 minutes late. She'll cancel your appointment, but you better just book your whole day because you don't know when you get your hair braided.
She can be like, you can't though.
And
that's on Mary.
Yeah, right. So. And that's on who? I just, it's kind of like, oh my goodness. And I don't know if it's just because I know hair braiders. I know hair braiders, but I also know hairstylists and they do different things. So I guess. It just bothers me. It's like, and I get it. You don't need a license. You don't need a license, but still there's something that just seems off about this. It just seems off. It just seems off. It just seems off, but I don't have to pay for it.
And what won't be? Not no $250 was out of some homegirl's garage. Absolutely not. I was gonna say $250 at the braiding shops.
Braiding shops.
They'll have 2 braiders on your head. So you get out of there in like 4 hours, right? Instead of 8, 9,
10. Yeah, because my buddy,
Yeah.
when she does weave, she does hair blowouts, she does perms and everything. So her on there, I think she said like 7 or 8 hours. I know it's just her. And I think it's around the same amount. However, she's not telling you to wash your hair before you get here. It's like, wait, what? But
some braiders are really invested in their craft.
Yeah.
It's just like doing this to make money. And I don't give a fuck about, your scalp health, hair health. Don't give a fuck.
Like, I'm just trying to make this money. I got to get more people in. I'm like, I get it, girl. Okay. All right, girl, you got it. It's like we sitting here. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Okay. So next story in Medkey, because I can't with her. So Rick Santorum has been literal garbage since ever. I feel like back before when I read Dan Savage's I read Dan Savage's column, Savage Love, before we found out that he also is trash. That's another conversation. He always make fun of Rick Santorum because he is just bigoted, xenophobic, racist trash. Always has been. Every phobia and ism out there, Rick Santorum probably has a card for each of those clubs. So, so he decided. So I got this from The Guardian. The former U.S. Senator and CNN political commentator Rick Santorum has sparked outrage among Native Americans or indigenous folks, if we want to be, better, and prompted calls for his dismissal by telling a right-wing students conference that European colonists who came to America birthed a nation from nothing. There was nothing here. I mean, yes, we have Native Americans, but candidly, there isn't much Native American culture in American culture. We came here and created a blank slate. We birthed a nation from nothing. Again, he's been trash. I love how you're acting like the genocide that happened for indigenous folks means that it was a blank slate. No, that sounds like a bloody slate to me, but what do I know?
Also, that like indigenous communities, like and their contributions, their existence, their practices were nothing. Indigenous practices were just nothing. Mm-hmm. It just didn't matter. Like, okay. Okay.
I swear.
And if we don't have any Native American culture, every time you all call something your spirit animal.
Hello?
Every time you guys dress up. Oh, I'm sorry. The Redskins, quote unquote. The Washington Redskins.
Y'all couldn't even come up with an animal. Y'all call it the Washington football team. I'm like, the hell are you doing? The Washington
Chiefs.
Child.
The Chiefs.
I think they got rid of
Native
the mascot.
American culture.
Mm-hmm. I think they may have
any team that's referred to as the Savages, any high school football team in the Midwest.
How many sports teams do we have called Indians? They got the Blackhawks. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's like, no, there's no Native American. Okay.
Polluted it. Anytime any of you dress up in traditional feathers for Halloween.
Hello.
Pocahontas, her story.
And we have to remind y'all every damn time. Existence. Every time we have to remind you, hey, hi, so this is not what you do. It's like
Sacagawea saved Lewis and Clark from dying because they didn't know where they were fucking going. All these great explorers were just lost. They were fucking lost in the forest, at sea. They didn't know where the fuck they were going because they didn't know science until they ran into people of color. And people of color taught them science. Africans taught them science. Indigenous people taught them science. We taught them hygiene. They were dying. All those plagues in Europe because niggas weren't washing their hands. European women were dying all the time in childbirth because they were getting infections because people wouldn't wash their fucking hands before touching a woman in her genitals and a baby. Yes, Who taught you how to clean your hands? Who taught you science? Who taught you math? Indigenous people, people of color, every fucking place you invaded, you colonized, we taught you how to be better people. Fuck out of here.
Girl, you let them tell it. So
we created something out of nothing. Bitch, you guys, you're disgusting. You pollute areas. Everywhere you go in the world has been inflicted with pain and death and devastation and disease because you all are nasty. You bring plagues everywhere.
According to Rick Santorum, y'all, the U.S. was founded as a Judeo-Christian theocratic state. He might be, who the fuck said this? Yeah, I can't read anymore about fuck Rick Santorum. Apparently, he's put out statements that I had no intention of minimizing or any way devaluing Native American culture. You literally said they weren't here. You literally said
they built the country with nothing.
So what did you mean? You knew damn well what you were saying. It's like, but yeah, the whole let's act like it didn't happen. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. It's like, stop doing this. It's like, y'all need to stop. Because y'all really had people believing that Native American indigenous activists in DC were not protesting the name of the Washington football team for decades. Let Dan Snyder tell y'all nobody had a problem. Like, are you kidding me? I'll be 40 this year. They've always hated that name. Why are you lying to people? And now, because outside was closed for a whole, for no hot girl summer, y'all like, oh, I guess we should change this now. I don't know, 40, 50 years too late. You should have been changed that fucking name because let Dan Snyder sell it. Nobody had a problem with it. He's like, well, I mean, we took this poll and they ain't had no problem. You literally asked 10 indigenous people off the street. Meanwhile, ignoring the actual activists who were protesting that name, for decades. They've always been protesting it. I remember just telling my mama, she's like, they've always hated that name. She's like, they're always protesting. She's like, they've always hated it. Why would they say? I'm like, girl, I don't know. But yeah, Rick Santorum, he's literally a piece of shit. But he's always been trash. So good to hell luck, everybody. Let's slide into high key. And this wasn't planned, but it seemed like I put everything here. So last week, they had the Oscars. The Oscars were in person, still a little socially distanced because people weren't on top of each other. People still had on masks. So Daniel Kaluuya won an Oscar for Judas and the Black Messiah. I have to say, as someone who saw the movie, he definitely deserved it. So they had them in the room, and I think it sounded like people were like on Skype asking questions. Didn't seem like they were in the same room. So Margaret Gardner, a HFPA and South African journalist, was asking questions of Daniel Kaluuya. So this is how she started, and it was remote. She did do remote. I've been following you since the beginning of your career, and I was wondering what it meant for you to be directed by Regina, what this means for you at this time with the world and the state that it's in. Now, you may think this is an innocent question. Let me just say this. Aldous Hodge was in the movie, directed by Regina King, One Night in Miami. Daniel Kaluuya was not. He was in Judas and the Black Messiah. But you've been following his career since the beginning, but you don't know that he's not the nigga that's
Where is he?
It's like, what are you talking about? So
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Stephanie. So she's asking, wait, what? She thought Daniel Kaluuya was Aldous Hodge, and she thought he had won. So I don't know if it was Daniel One Night.
Aldous Hodge. I know it was like she thought he was one of the men.
She thought he was in One Night in Miami.
But she's like, I've been following your career. Oscar? So yeah, he won an Oscar for Judas and the Black Messiah, the movie that Regina King did not direct.
Right. That's not like where. what? Like,
Yeah.
where? I was lost because I was like, what is she confused about? Does she think Regina King is the director of Judas and the Black Messiah? Does she think that he is Aldous Hodge?
Girl.
What?
So of course, for like the Oscars, they put the clips online, and I went, the fuck is she saying? So this is what Homegirl did at first. Hashtag Daniel Kaluuya. I did not mistake you for Leslie. I'm sorry. It was Leslie Odom Jr. It wasn't Aldous Hodge. Leslie Odom Jr. Because Leslie was also nominated, but it's for One Night in Miami. They were all in the same category. Best Supporting Actor. I would love to know who was the best actor for Judas and the Black Messiah, but that's neither here nor there. So she said, I did not mistake you for Leslie Odom Jr. I'm sorry if it seemed that way. I had wanted to ask about Regina King not being nominated as a director for One Night in Miami and your win for Judas and the Black Messiah for the community at this time. There was a sound issue, so I dropped the part about Regina King and restated my question. What does it mean for the community at this time? When I listed to the audio, I do understand, but there was no confusion. So here we go. We're going to play what the fuck she said. Hello, the internet is forever. I don't know why you're doing this, folks. I don't know why you're doing this. Okay, so here we go. Da, da, da.
I want to congratulate.
Hold on, let me pull it back.
I want to congratulate you on this. I've been following you since the beginning of your career. And I was wondering what it meant for you to be directed by Regina, what this means for you at this time with the world in the state that it's in.
Say that question again, please.
I was wondering what it meant for you to win with the world in the state that it's in at the moment.
What it meant to win to the world that the state is in the moment. It just, it's amazing to have this honor and to be appreciated in this way.
Okay, so homegirl thinks we're boo-boo the fool. That is what you said. To be directed by Regina King. And the thing about it is, Daniel helped you out because he asked you to repeat it. You dizzy bitch. He actually helped you. I kind of wish he hadn't, but I can understand. Look, we ask Black people to be way too gracious, quite frankly. So yeah, ma'am, instead of you actually doing what you should have, which is just saying, I'm so sorry for getting you confused, you didn't. You told everybody, I don't know what y'all heard. I'm like, we heard what you said. I can tell you exactly what I heard. It was what you said. You dumb dizzy bitch. I'm going to keep calling. See, I'm just going to keep calling her a dumb dizzy bitch. I really am. Because
I don't understand why she just didn't say like, oh, I'm so sorry. It'd been a long day. I was thinking about Regina's direction of XYZ and it just came out. It came out incorrect. I don't know why she just didn't say that.
Oh, I don't know why either. Because I'm sitting here like, you do realize you didn't have to do all of that. Because that wasn't it. It wasn't necessary. It's like, ma'am, you are the one. It's like, ma'am, you were like, I don't know what y'all heard. And it's like, what do you mean what I heard?
We heard what you said.
We heard what you said.
I didn't confuse him.
It's like, well, I don't know what you heard. Like, what do you mean? Girl, I'm just sitting here like, baby, are you okay? But then she actually went back and apologized. But it's kind of like, baby, yeah, it's a little too late for me. And it is what it is. It's like, we're not going to remember this next year, and that's fine. But the fact that Black, especially in this year where one, the best supporting actor category was just heavy with talent. And you still had to be gracious. And instead of you just admitting that you fucked up, you said, no, that's not what I said. And then people are like, yeah, this is what the fuck you said. And then it was like, oh, let me apologize. It's like, girl, fuck you. It's like, baby, just take your licks. It's okay. It's okay for you to just say that I fucked up. And but here's the thing. This is why it's going to sound like bullshit, because I'm like, ma'am, this is your job to know. You're not a doctor in a hospital. You're not a surgeon. So you mixing up Leslie Odom Jr. and Danny Kaluuya, two black men who literally do not look alike. Okay. You being a reporter, and this is your genre of work. It is not okay for you to fuck this up. And stop telling people that I don't know what y'all heard. I heard exactly what you said. That's what I heard. So yeah, fuck her forever. Actually, no, I'm saying that, and I won't even remember her from 3 months from now. It'll be that lady who did something. Okay, next story in high key. I did mention it. So it is Janet Mock. Come on. That's right. Get into this. Come on, Court. Get into I'm sorry. I'm just picking one. Y'all can't see this. One of these days, Stephanie's going to get the Patreon and y'all can see this foolishness, but not today, because it's just for me, because I will warn people, because it's not funny to spring stuff on. Anyway, so Janet Mock, we talked about her. Okay, so this is from the Daily Beast. This also was reported on page 6. I'm not even sure how shady it probably was on page 6, the way they wrote it. I don't even want to discuss it because Lord have mercy. So here we go. Kevin Fallon. Why is it? Oh, I'm thinking, never mind. At the emotional New York City premiere for the 3rd and final season of Pose on Thursday night, there were tears and there were truths in the case of executive producer and director Janet Mock, who delivered a remarkable, at times uncomfortable and messy and possibly industry-changing speech. There were dramatic examples of both. Fuck Hollywood, she said early on in her address to the audience, which lasted about 15 minutes. This makes you uncomfortable? It should. It should make you fucking shake in your motherfucking boots. I gotta say motherfucking because I'm black. This is speaking the truth. This is what Pose is. The socially distanced COVID-safe event took place at Jazz at Lincoln Center. Ooh, nice. It was one of the first major in-person premieres of its kind this year in New York, and the first at FX, which will premiere the new season of Pose. Actually, it was May 2nd, so this is, you'll hear this after it's premiered already, has hosted in well over a year. Attendees included the show's cast, each dressed in jaw-dropping red carpet wear and creative team, FX executives, and a few dozen critics and journalists, all individually escorted to seats dotted across the auditorium. A theater at Jazz at Lincoln Center has never looked so sparsely occupied, but also after these last 15 months so full. There's no better show than Pose to usher in the industry into a cautious new normal at this point in the pandemic. It is a series about survival, about the power of family and community, and about confronting the harsh realities that too often get overlooked because it's easier or makes people more comfortable. For Mock, that meant departing from the show's party line about its trans talent being given what they're worth. Instead, she called out those who capitalize on their stories without paying them what they owed. For co-creators Ryan Murphy and Stephen Cannells, that meant acknowledging the impact of a revolutionary show. In my career that has now lasted for 25 years, it is the most important thing that I've been a part of, Murphy said about Pose. And it is the thing I think that I'm most proud to consider myself a part of. Cannells recounted how he took 166 meetings in Los Angeles trying to get Pose made. On the 167th meeting, he met executive producer Sherry Marsh, who introduced him to Ryan Murphy, who not only agreed to make the show, but to make it with Cannells. He ended his remarks with a beautiful, heartfelt thank you to Mock for her support, concluding, "It is not lost to me that as a cis man, my career and this story is built on the backs of Black and Afro Latinx trans women who have told the best story. So thank you, especially to the women of our show." When Mock took the mic, it's fair to assume that most of the 100 people, oh my God, and the audience expected the love fest and the message of progress and appreciation to continue. But it quickly became clear that she had things to get off her chest. She demanded to know why she was only paid $40,000 an episode for her work on the show. She made an ovation to her boyfriend, Angel Bismarck Curiel, who plays Little Poppy, seeming to ask for forgiveness after cheating on him. A series of calls and responses were meant to uplift trans cast members who she felt were underestimated. And she noted that the first 2 episodes of the series didn't live up to the quality of the rest of the run because they were written by men. Oh my God. She then called to Murphy in the audience, asking him to repeat several times what he did to make the show better. I wanted to bring in the girls, he said, referring to Mock and Our Lady J, who joined the writer's room. The speech began in tears at a podium with Mock barely able to speak before it exploded across the stage with the star grabbing the handheld mic and pacing back and forth as if delivering a sermon. This is what Pose taught me, she began. I stand up tall in the world because of this show. I know that I matter because of this show. I have a voice because of this show. She said that the bright attitude she previously projected was a responsibility. I was happy because I had to be happy. Because if I wasn't happy, the girls wouldn't know that happiness is possible. But it was masking the truth. She said, I'm hurting, y'all. I see injustice and it hurts me inside. When a talent asks you for a sweet, you give them a sweet because they need it, she said. She singled out cast members Haley Shahar, Dominic Jackson, Angelica Ross, and Jay Rodriguez, toasting their talent and shaming everyone who undervalued or underestimated them because they were pretty or inexperienced. At her most passionate, she demanded to know why she wasn't paid more for her work. Why am I making $40,000 a motherfucking episode, huh? Do you know who the fuck I am? Do you know what I fucking mean? Huh? I'm angry. This is truth. This is motherfucking truth. She apologized to co-executive producer Our Lady J, saying, I tried to shrink you to make myself bigger. Why couldn't I just love you? The speech ended on a note of accountability, and that meant piercing through the talking points, the ones tied up in a bow about inclusivity, opportunity, and progress that have been served to the media over the last 3 seasons. She mocked the standard line in a sing-song voice. It means so much to everyone to ensure that we enable Black and brown trans women to make it. That sounds good, right? It makes you uncomfortable, me talking like that, because then I don't scare you into facing the fucking truth. You all have stomped on us. It was a brave, unexpected speech, one that certainly caught its audience by surprise, all of whom were nervously at an event for the first time in over a year and rendered breathless and occasionally uneasy by Mock's passion and candor. Whew. It's a kind of scorched earth truth telling that you might hear the executives and an industry figure Mock called out publicly praised for its honesty in pursuit of change. Then you wonder what they actually are going to say about it or about Mock behind closed doors. Historically, that's what happens when marginalized people demand their worth. At the very least, we can ask for some bravery from these people with the suits, the purse strings, and the power. This time, don't do the two-faced whispering. This time, listen, process, and act. Mock repeatedly acknowledged that what she was saying was making people uncomfortable. That's what the truth does, especially when it's set off a grenade to expectations, like the ones 100 people had when filing to premiere Pose, the first post-pandemic event on Thursday night. It scratches at you until you finally address the itch. It's how you treat it that matters. The most moving moment came when Mock openly wondered if by saying all this, she may have ruined her career. As I stand here, I'm shaking and quaking, afraid that what I said I cannot put back in. In a silence that followed, her trans sisters in the audience, including co-stars Dominic Jackson, India Moore, Angelica Ross, and Haley Shahar, all started to speak up. You are safe. We love you, Janet. Thanks for saying that. My sisters, right? What did they say when I almost fell down just now? Suffice to say that Mock's electric, at times imperious, at times caustic, but impressively sincere and consequential remarks overshadowed the screening of the episode, which she directed, that followed. It certainly added context to it too. Pose season 3 started filming in March 2020 and because of the pandemic, just finished worked on its episodes with Mock and her Pose community seeing it through to the end amidst those circumstances. Okay. So there's a little bit more to this, but I'm going to stop here. This is why I gave her roses. There's a reason. So it is going to be very uncomfortable for a lot of people because I think we are so used to marginalized groups just projecting, or what's the word I want to use? Performing gratitude in a way that is acceptable to the people that basically give up their seat at the table for them. I don't even want to say gave seat at the table because Janet Mock had her own name before she got involved in Pose. You knew who Janet Mock was. So it wasn't, Pose didn't give her a seat or a platform. She already had it. It just made her platform just a little bit bigger because she was involved in Pose. I'm glad they didn't really talk about what happened with Angel because that's between you two. I personally didn't even know that she was no longer married. So I was confused by that because I'm like, I could have swore she was married, but I paid more attention to her business and not her personal life. I'm glad that other women that are involved in Pose didn't like kind of shrink away and just go, girl, we don't know her. And they were just like, no, we love you and we're glad you're speaking up. Because I think performing gratitude in a way that'll make other people comfortable is not the game that we can play anymore. So I'm not sure what made her say it at that moment. I'm glad she got it off her chest. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Miss Courtney? What, Kate?
I wanted to touch back on the not performing gratitude, being able, because that's a white supremacy as well, right? Like having to feel like you have to perform gratitude, take, you got this opportunity, don't try to rock the boat when there's really issues at stake. Like her underpayment is an issue. That's an issue at stake. And she shouldn't have to be grateful for being underpaid. None of us would expect that.
Exactly.
A white man would not thank anyone for being underpaid.
Correct.
So why do we, especially when it comes to the point that, of course, Black and brown women are underpaid, and as you get, once you add identities that are also marginalized, her being a not just Black but a Black trans woman, and what that comes into, it means something for her to advocate for her appropriate level of pay.
Correct.
Stop doing that. And so, it's like, no, you don't have to sit back and just take, the crumbs. She doesn't have to take the crumbs.
Correct.
I can already hear it now. The ungrateful label coming her way.
You know it's coming.
Because it's always,
I'm like, no, it didn't. And she was Janet Mock.
It's right. Janet they brought her on because of who she was.
Correct.
They did not, Pose did not make her who I need y'all to both calm down. Pose did not make Janet Mock who she was. They brought her in. They brought Janet Mock in to make Pose what it is. So let's be clear on that. I can just hear now how ungrateful, and she's setting trans women back and all of that. It's coming.
And it's like, I don't think she's necessarily wrong talking about the pay discrepancy, because she really isn't. She could have left Angel out. I'm like, we can debate that. But for the most part, it's like, no, some of that. See, that's the thing. It's like, we're done with white comfort. We're done with and it seems like she's done with white comfort and cis comfort. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's definitely fine. It's like, no, you can let us cis people have it. Because I swear, it's like, so this is a funny story. I was in a room on Clubhouse and the stage was full of queer and or trans people, right? This guy got on stage and I think they let him up, and And one of the moderators like, wait, hi. And they said, I can't remember this man's name. They're like, are you straight? And he's like, yes, I click. They had removed him so quick. I was screaming for 25 minutes because I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And it's like, I need you to read the room. Why are you coming up on this stage? And he's probably like, and they just kicked me off stage. I'm like, because this stage ain't for you. You lucky they're not kicking you out the room. Like, you don't have to be.
I don't get the obsession of wanting to be in spaces that aren't for you. Like,
especially on the stage. Why are you here? It's like, yeah, I was like,
I don't understand that obsession at all.
I don't either. That's the thing. And it's like, I've been in Black spaces where they're like, they see people come in. It's like, if you are not Black, we're going to ask you to leave. If you don't leave, we're going to remove you.
Right.
That's it. And it's like, it shouldn't. It's like, if they say, look, if you're not gay or trans and you're in this room, you need to leave. It's like, fair. It's like, what am I going to say? No.
It's like, I've been invited. I have friends who, are queer and are trans, and both of y'all give me the remote. And it's like, they've invited me to, some spaces where to speak. And it's like, I don't mind if you want me to say a couple of words, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I don't have to, this isn't the space for me.
Correct.
There's nothing, you don't lose anything by stepping back and stepping to the side and letting folks be centered who don't I get to be centered every day, all the time.
Yeah.
Even as a Black woman, I get to be centered all the time in my profession, in my household. I am centered. I get to, I have opportunities to be focused on. That's not the right foot. So I don't lose anything. But then also, like that comes with the comfortability of yourself.
Correct.
Like you understanding, if you've been silenced, if you've been marginalized, you understand making space is important. If you've been there, if you've never been there, then you don't know. You don't understand the need for it.
And it's like, I wish y'all get it. Like, it's way too much. I'm like, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be on the stage. I'm like, because one, you're lucky that, see, that's the thing. Spaces are going to get more curated. And they're like, okay, wait a minute. Do I see your pronouns? Do I see certain flags in your bio? If it's not there, it's like, we're going to ask you to leave. And it's like, it should be just fine. And it's like, because honestly, I'd be like, that's fair. It's like, that's fair.
If I was somewhere and it was like, we want to have a conversation or a discussion or a space, and it's only trans women, and it's like, you're a cisgender woman, we're gonna ask you to leave.
This shouldn't be a problem. It's like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you for being nice and not just kick. It's not even saying not just kick me out the room. Even if you did, I'd be like, oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to be there. We need to be adults and not be like, why can't I be here? I'm like, because you can't. There's literally so many rooms in your hallway. You can just go anywhere, baby. I swear. For real. But yeah, I hope Janet Mock is having a good day. And I hope she is not beating herself up. She probably isn't. She's probably like, I said what the fuck I said. And I hope that is what she is doing. Because I respect your gangster, Janet. Somebody's gangster I do not respect. Our last story. So Caitlyn, let me just give this disclaimer. I'm going to say this right now. We are not going to sit here and misgender Caitlyn. We're not going to do it. I've seen people already doing this. And I'm like, yeah, calling someone an asshole is gender neutral. She is an asshole. So I'm not going to misgender her. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing that. And it's kind of like, you can literally find other things except her, that a gender that she wants to identify with to shit on her. Caitlyn Jenner is a old white woman. Okay. She's acting like an old ass white woman. I just want to let y'all know that. So Caitlyn was stopped by the TMZ.
And can we just say,
go ahead.
Can we just say for Californians, Calabasas is conservative. It's not LA. It's not West Hollywood.
As fuck.
It's not LA. It's the Los Angeles. It's the Southern California area.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where all of the listeners are from, but California is not a utopia of privileged, progressive folks. It's like the Bay Area and then parts of LA. The rest of California is red.
Kind of like Georgia, because everybody thinks because Atlanta's in Georgia, it's super liberal. I was like, have you looked outside of those 3 counties?
No.
There's like 3 counties that's black and everything else is red if you really look at that map.
And granted, it's like those are the most populated areas, but California is big. You're in Baltimore, so that's like Baltimore down. I mean, almost like Baltimore to the southern part of South Carolina. So I don't know how long, if you hopped in a car right now, what's 8 hours south of you? If you just got in the car, drove south for 8 hours,
it would be like probably the northernmost tip of Georgia, because I think it took me like 8 or 10 hours to drive from Maryland to Georgia. So yeah, because I think South Carolina is like maybe 6 hours, 4-6.
Right, like that's the space it covers. So you have a lot of California is a lot of outside of the city.
So yeah, Courtney is giving you like the mass of California. It is huge. It's very red. Hence why Prop 8 was able to be. So remember, everybody remembers no on Prop 8. I'm like, you do realize it passed. It was voted on and they voted for it. Then it was like, oh my God, what happened? Y'all didn't read what it was. Y'all let that shit pass. They had billboards and shit. This was not like in North Carolina when they did the I think it was the bathroom bill overnight. It wasn't the council that voted. This was on the ballot and y'all let this happen, #y'all. And then it became, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm like, why didn't any of y'all vote against it? It's like, it was on the ballot, baby. I mean, so I'm glad y'all got it like overturned, but please believe that's how conservative some parts of California really is. Basically, the damn whole state.
They don't. We have outside of the cities, it's a lot of farmland. It's rural California, and folks in the rural areas are conservative when it comes to social issues, to religious issues, to things like marriage equality, things like trans rights, things like abortion rights. So, and then when you hit more, and the other part about the rural Californians is rural Californians are rich. They're rich. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of farmland. They have government contracts to get their crops into schools, to get their crops into different mass distribution channels. These are not your small town poor farmers rubbing 2 beans together, hoping it turns into a beanstalk. Those are
the black farmers, wealthy, not the white ones, though.
Very politically active. Right. They're very active, very politically connected.
Aw, Quoozy.
So yeah, they're very wealthy. I went to a fundraiser a couple years back.
Okay.
Let him watch Family Feud. I went to a fundraiser for a county position. This wasn't the right one. I don't know. They might be called county commissioners in your area. We call them the county board of supervisors. I went to a county board of supervisors fundraiser at a farm in border of Castro Valley, San Ramon, to upper middle class areas, cities east of Oakland. And it was a beautiful farm that he owned tons of land, had the most souped up truck, like they don't drive Benzes and stuff, but their trucks are fully loaded, all types of brand new high tech shit. So I went there and it was a bunch of rural folks, similar, also owned farmland. They're writing checks for $20,000, $5,000, $10,000, nothing. Like it's nothing. These are big. These rural folks out here, out this way, are conservative and they got big money. So right. I say all that to say that the conservative groups here, also we've got big business. We got a lot of tech money, and a lot of those folks are conservative, especially when it comes down to taxes. If they can avoid paying taxes, they will, and they'll vote for who is going to keep taxes low. You can't play with the remote. Hey, look at the face. Look at the face. Look at the face.
Rosie, what's happening? Oh, I'm sorry.
We knocked the phone away.
He's like, get out of my face, ho.
Right.
Oh, cool.
Mad at you, girl. Must have did something to him.
Oh, excuse me. Like,
so yeah, I say all that to say that California is conservative, and the conservative folks out this way have money, and they know how to use it.
Just a mess. So, included in all that money is Caitlyn Jenner, who was on her Saturday morning coffee run, because she is clear on where she stands. It's an issue of fairness, and we need to protect girls' sports in our schools. So the headline from TMZ said, if you're a biological boy, you shouldn't be in girls' sports. See, I love that I can just put this here because, my God.
I'm confused about like what even her point was by saying that, because so she feels that way. So then what?
Right.
So she should have, if she would have went through her transition back in the 80s, back when she was trying to do it.
Which is what she wanted.
Is that you? Right, which is what she wanted. So she would have went through her transition when she was still an active, Olympic athlete. She would have wanted to still compete in men's. Is that what she's saying? Or would she have not competed at all? What's her whole point? I don't even know her whole point of even bringing that up.
I don't either. So let's see what Miss Caitlyn has to say. Let's see.
Hi, Caitlyn. So there's legislation in various states to ban biological boys or trans from playing girls' sports in school. What's your opinion on that? Impacts. Yeah. This is a question of fairness. That's why I oppose biological boys who are trans competing in girls' sports in school. It just isn't fair. And we have to protect.
Bring that bag out when you're done. Put it in the trash.
Now identifies as a girl. Isn't it delegitimizing their identity to prevent a good day?
So, Caitlyn is a former Olympian.
Girl,
she's a former triathlete. Homegirl, with her and her dog from the Starbucks, decided to say it is unfair. And I said this on Twitter, and I meant it, because we're not discussing the misogyny that it is, that you are literally saying you don't want trans girls competing in quote unquote girl sports. I'm putting quote unquote because, yeah, I'm feeling froggy today. You don't want, you think it's unfair because there's some inherent bias that you think boys are better at sports than girls and they'll have an advantage without any kind of information to back up your story. It is so super weird because it's not, they're trying to ban trans girls from girl sports, but they're not trying to ban trans boys from boys sports, because you don't think they have an advantage, because you think women are weaker. That is how that's what we're doing here. I think I was in a clubhouse room. Someone was talking about bone density, and I was like, "Girl, nobody who is like having a problem with this is thinking about bone density differences between males and females. Nobody's thinking about bone density. I can almost bet you the farm on that. But first, you know, when Caitlyn had her show, a lot of people were like, well, now that she is able to come out and she's being embraced by the community, that her Republican views, her conservative views, her closed-minded views that she had pre-transition were going to disappear. And we're watching that it did not. Caitlyn is the same Republican that she has always been. She is the same conservative, closed-minded person she has always been. She changed her gender, not her stance, because she wasn't for same-sex marriage either, pre or post-transition. Caitlyn's still the same damn person. And I apologize.
Which is interesting, right? Because Caitlyn has stated that still is attracted to women. She's not gay. That her gender identity is not just because she transitioned to a woman. She is not now attracted to men. She's still attracted to women. So
you would think that would technically make her a lesbian, but she's like, no, I'm not gay. And it's like, so if you're identifying as a woman and you're attracted to women, I mean, I'm no dictionary, but okay.
And for me, right, like I'm not caught up on it. Like you don't call it you don't call it being a lesbian, you don't call it being gay. That's fine. You're just like attracted to women.
And I'm like,
fine. But if you went through the legal channels to transition and your gender is now a woman, I don't know down the line, like the legality of it all is you're a woman that's marrying another woman if she chose to get remarried. And so that would be a same-sex marriage. But I really think for Caitlyn, her trans status is more about gender expression more than anything.
Okay.
So that's why it's easy for her to compartmentalize stuff like trans girls not playing in sports, because she's still very like this for her. I think it's very much an expression, not gender identity. And I don't know that for sure, right? Like, but it comes off like for you to be able to have the politics and the views that you do, but then you're identifying as trans. I really feel like this comes down to trans. It's her transition was about gender expression versus gender identity.
Right.
Because it can vary, right? I can very much, I'm a cisgender woman. I can very much like I am a woman, but my gender expression might be masculine, but it's like I am a woman. I'm attracted to men. I have sex with men. I have children. I'm a mother. I'm very much like into being a mother and these traditional feminine, you know, I'm doing air quotes because people won't be able to see me. Traditional feminine, so on and so forth.
Right.
All of that. But I can probably, you know, I feel like that's why she's able to just really adhere to like this misogyny and all this stuff, because it's just about gender expression. It's about her being able to express herself in a feminine way and have the traditional markings, air quotes again, traditional markings of femininity, the long hair, the dresses, jewelry, all of that, makeup, all of that. She's able to rock all of that shit, but then still hold misogyny so dear.
Correct. Like, you still, I'm like, yeah, that didn't, it's like, Caitlyn is just changing like her expression and her identity, because I think it really was about And the thing about it is I can't even weigh her transness because quite frankly, it's like Caitlyn's an asshole. But y'all, I hate to break it to you, she was always an asshole. It's like she's the same person. She's the same closed-minded person. It's like she truly is. And the thing about it is that the women that were on the show with her, now people are coming to them, and a lot of them, like I think it's a couple of them. I think Jenny's the one I think had been quoted in a couple of articles saying she has not talked to Caitlyn in years. And so it makes me think that you use these women for clout, but as a Kardashian trait, I'm assuming. So it's like, baby, Caitlyn Jenner is not your ally. But again, she wasn't trying to be nobody's ally, at least in the truest form. It was more like, hey, I'm out and I get to live my life this way. Baby, you were sitting in rooms with women who wanted to identify, so that really had to bust their ass to identify how they were. They had to participate in sex work, a life you are never going to know because you are a very rich white person. So you don't know what that's like and how annoying it fucking is to watch you get all this praise, but Black and brown trans women are demonized. Or you have a Janet Mock, because she's going to end up being demonized to a certain extent. The Republican white people, they're not going to demonize Caitlyn. They may actually push Caitlyn forward as a mascot. And the bad part about it is like, you see any Black or brown Republicans, why do you think they push them forward? It's like, hey, we need some pets. See, we need y'all to bring in folks that look like you so we can bring them in too. But people see the gag really quickly. I just hope they see the gag with Caitlyn for governor. I really do. Because one, I can't say that I'm disappointed in Caitlyn because I didn't have faith in Caitlyn. But for the many trans folks and for the folks that are just like, you're making us look bad, they're probably disappointed, but a lot of them probably didn't have faith in her either. So there's that. But this is just pretty fucked up that Caitlyn is literally the same person before transition that she is after transition. Her identity has changed. Her politic has not. Her views, her stance has not changed. It just is worse because now you are identifying as a woman and still holding on to the misogynistic traits. But there are a lot of cisgendered women who probably feel the same way as her. So I can't even say what it is. It's like, I feel like when it comes to internalized misogyny, all misogynists don't identify as male. So it's just annoying at this point. Final thoughts, Courtney.
I just want to point out that Equality California, which is an LGBTQIA advocacy organization, basically denounced Caitlyn's run for governor. So they said they cannot wait to vote in trans person for the highest office in leadership in the state, but it ain't gonna be her.
Good. For
all the reasons you just mentioned. So
I hope so. And I hope
that's Cruz in the background singing the Family Feud.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I love babies. Y'all know. I'm not editing him out. Just wanted to let y'all know. I'm not doing it because that's my boo thing. But yeah, I hope so. I hope they are able to say, yeah, no, she does not represent us. I still remember when they had people protesting her and they had protest groups. And I still remember that one woman said, you do not represent us, Caitlyn. It's like, now check that. y'all, I think that's a show. I'm very excited. I really am. I always am excited to have Courtney here because, she keeps me up to date with stuff that's going on in California. And I'm a homegirl with the red shorts. I got my eye on her, but she bigsy. She big time. She know what she did. She lucky she's so big.
She's a delegate. She didn't went to convention. She did all the things.
Look at this. I was like, let me tell you something. You big time now, so I can't leave my comments about your red shorts. So I can't say nothing. You just lucky. But I can still DM you. So don't even think about it. But y'all, this is the beginning of May. It is now May. Come to May. Show me who you are. See, now I'm going to go listen to Mandy Jamaica Moore's greatest hits. Y'all better give Mandy Jamaica Moore her things. Okay. Give back her things. But
it's Jamisha.
Oh, it's Jamisha now? Oh, okay, Jamisha.
Amanda Jamisha.
Yes, come on. Okay, I'm excited. Amanda Jamisha. But Courtney, again, thank you for being here. It gets rowdy in her house because she my baby mama with the boys. So they be like, yeah, fuck your recording. Look here, we doing this. It's like, oh, okay.
They're coming to be with you for the summer. Just warning you,
Come on through. Are you kidding me? See, my father will be like, okay, bring them, and he'll tell them to pick up a stick. I'm like, why are you telling them to pick up sticks? What are you doing?
Caleb will be apprehensive, but Cruz will listen.
He probably will. And I was like, I swear, I'm like, why does he have a stick? Oh, because we was just walking in the park and why does he have never mind. You know what? Never mind, James. Whatever you want to do. It's very cute. Kids love him. There are little kids who literally are convinced that he actually is the real Santa Claus. They really believe that he's Santa Claus. I'm like, I don't know what you did to them. He's like, I don't know what I did either. He played Santa Claus at one little party and they're like, that's the real Santa Claus. I'm like, yes, please tell all your white friends that Santa is black so they can lose their minds. But before we get out of here, Courtney, do you want folks to follow you? Because I ain't gonna tell them. But because I ain't gonna tell them. Y'all didn't see her face. She's like, no. So for the most part, I'm gonna give you some mentionables about the C-Dubb show. That's what I'm gonna give y'all. Don't be hunting down Courtney, okay? They'll be like, ooh, she cute. Nope, don't do it. Nope, don't do it. But y'all, this has been the Mocha Minutes podcast. I will be back next week. I'm gonna have some more mamas. A couple of them. That'll be Taria and Cook. So Taria from What Else Is Going On and Cook from Highly Inappropriate. We are going to be breaking down, I'm already telling y'all now, it's no surprise, the verses, SWV versus Escape. This is going to be so much fun because I am team SWV, but I love Escape too. But look here, SWV makes the pick me bops and I am here for it. So I will be back next week. Y'all also just want to let y'all know that you can now buy me a coffee for Mocha Minutes. So if you go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I will have the link in the show notes. Buy me a coffee. I would love to have your support. And for anybody who knows me, they know this is a hard thing for me to do on this microphone because I'll be like, oh good Lord. But yeah, buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes. First person to do it was actually Taria from What Else Is Going On. So I appreciate her so much. So it's going to be on the show notes and I'll be back next week. Bye.
So a couple of days ago, I made a video breaking down how a lot of the old school relationships were really trash. And even though someone was with you for a very long time, they were not happy. And per usual, men got in their feelings and cried all in my comment section. Y'all claim to be so logical and we're so sensitive and emotional, but y'all cry a lot about things that don't even apply to you, allegedly. I even had a dude tell me that I need to start listening to Kevin Samuels. I made a reply video about that, but TikTok won't release it. So I'll repeat to him here what I said in that video. I will drag my bare pussy across Derek Jackson's wife's broken heart before I ever listen to a thing that Kevin Samuels has to say. A lot of y'all want women that are broken and damaged because y'all refuse to work on yourselves. A woman that's independent, has her money and her shit together, intimidates you because you know deep down you're not prepared to do the hard work that she's done to make herself a better person and for you to be a better partner to someone like that. Which is why you'll gaslight the hell out of that type of woman and tell her that she's going to die alone, when really you're just projecting your own insecurity about that happening to you.